Hello, YouTube. I haven't, been around for a couple months, but I'm back. I'm back. Today, I'm going to present you my magnum opus. This is at least the old world for my Germany wins World War One board and map scenario. Or scenario. Kind of screwed that up there, but you can forgive me. So yes, it's not done 100% yet. I can see Russia and southern China are uncolored. Forgot to color that German colony in China. Oh yeah, I still need to put lines through all the neutral powers, like in Libya. So yes, this is alternate history. So this will be different from World War One as you'll know it, or World War Two. I mean World War Two, so you know it. So yeah, so the core of this board is of course Germany wins World War One. So let's go over to kind of geopolitics and this, so you can actually understand what you can do for this World War Two game. So first, let's focus on Germany, the hegemon of Europe. It is the core of one of the teams, the Reichspakt Alliance, which it directly translates to Imperial Pact, but it's probably translated better as Imperial Protection Pact. It's comprised mostly of the old Central Powers, Germany, Austria, the Ottoman Empire, and all their puppet states, and the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is a German ally. If you wonder why, it's mostly France. So yes, let's focus on Germany. In Europe, the German Empire took land from France and Russia, which means Prussia and Alsace-Lorraine are bigger territories. Of course, you also have Bavaria, Lower Saxony, Central Germany, Pomerania, and I mentioned Prussia. They have puppet states in the Kingdom of Ukraine, Kingdom of Belarus, Kingdom of Poland, the Kingdom of Livonia, and the Kingdom of Finland, which is the land they took from Russia and Brest-Litovsk. They're also supporting the monarchist side in the Spanish Civil War, which is between the monarchists and the Republicans. They also have a huge colony in Africa called Deutsch Mittelafrika, which means German Middle Africa. German and English are pretty similar languages, so you could probably guess both of these names. They also have a fair amount of colonies in Asia, which is the main reason Japan is allied against them. They have Manchuria, which I need to change that flag. That's the old flag design. I redesigned their flag. They have Deutsch Ostasien, which guess what that means? German East Asia. So it's comprised mostly of Burma, Indochina, and I need to color Hainan. And also there's one part of China called Tsingtao. Over here we have Deutsch Pacific, Mariana Islands, still need to color those in. Kaiser Wilhelm Land, the Bismarck Archipelago, and the Solomons. So yes, that's all their... Have I missed any German territories? Don't think so. But yeah, this is pretty much all the territories on the board. Also, the American Island and the Midway. Kind of miscolored that. Thankfully I have white out, so I might be able to fix any mistakes I make in the future. So let's go back to Europe. Let's focus on the other members of the Reichspakt. Of course, we have the Austro-Hungarian Empire, comprised of Austria and Hungary, obviously, Transylvania, which is Galicia and Transylvania, Illyria, which is Croatia and Serbia, poor Serbia, they got divided in half. And they have Tyrol, which includes Lombardy and Venice, which they took from Italy. Yeah, Italy hates them. They also formed an Italian puppet state, because during the latter stages of World War I, one of the sub-branches of the House of Savoy were like, I want my own kingdom. So Austria-Hungary did it purely to screw over the Italians. So their kingdom, called Sardinia, sometimes called Sardinia-Piedmont, is divided into, obviously, the island of Sardinia and Piedmont, which is, so yeah, it's an Austro-Hungarian allied state. Who's on? Yes, the Ottoman Empire. Whoops. So, of course, their capital territory is Constantinople. They also have Ankara, Transjordan with Jerusalem, and Iraq. They also have client and puppet states in Najd, which is Ottoman supported, the Kingdom of Egypt, which is Ottoman supported, Bulgaria, which is Ottoman supported, and the Don-Gabon Union. This map's kind of outdated. In the lore, I changed the Don-Gabon Union to Transcaucasia. Also, Armenia is an independent state, but I can't fit it on the map. Yeah, so that's the Ottoman Empire solved. We should probably next focus on the British. The British Empire is not as strong as it was in our timeline. Of course, lots of its African holdings, like Rhodesia. Oh, zoomed in too much. zoom in too much. So like Rhodesia or Kenya and Uganda, of course, part of Deutsch Mittelafrika. I need to fix this Congo border. I didn't realize how sloppy it was. Anyway. Namibia was part of South Africa in our timeline, but you know, whatever. So yes, they have, in Africa, they have the Union of South Africa, which is a dominion. Southern Rhodesia, which is directly run. British Sudan, which was created because the southern part of Sudan was annexed by Germany, and Egypt was annexed by the Ottomans, just leaving that tiny little bit of land for them. They also have Nigeria. Of course, they still have India, the British Raj. However, they gave the eastern part of it, called Burma, to Germany, and Pakistan was released as an independent republic. They have Australia and New Zealand. So yes, Australia is Queensland, New South Wales, and Western Australia. They also kind of occupy the Dutch East Indies. They also have Malaya. It's still Dutch, it's kind of occupy it. Okay, I think that's all members of the Reichspakt. Am I forgetting anybody? No, I don't think so. Oh wait, yep, yes I am. Their only Asian member, the Peking government of China. Of course, China's still in a civil war because that's what China does. Yeah, that's what China does. So yes, the Peking government, its capital, Peking, what we now call Beijing, is the kind of authoritarian side. And you got the Kuomintang in the south. I forgot about British Hong Kong. So yes, the Kuomintang are a member of the Entente, which is the other faction. So yes, the Peking government has Peking, Inner Mongol, Sinkiang, Qinghai. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these. Hubei, and of course the Kuomintang as their capital in Nanking. They also have Chongqing, what we now call Chongdong, something like that. And then we also have Canton and Yunnan. The cow's Portuguese, so it's neutral. Okay, so I think now we can actually focus on Entente, the other side. Their main member and leader is the National Republic of France. Turns out losing a world war is not really good on national pride. So like Germany in our timeline, the French went nationalist. They're not like Nazi Germany levels of crazy. I'll give them like 3 out of 5. They're pretty authoritarian, don't get me wrong. You do not want to live there, but it's not Nazi Germany. So yeah, so the capital is Paris, with central France. They also have Burgundy, Marseille, Western France. They support the Spanish Republic. Of course, in Africa, they have Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and French West Africa, as well as good old Madagascar over here. And they also support the Arabian Republic against the Ottoman Empire. Kind of a descendant state of the Hejaz. I'll pan on eventually over on the American map, leaving French Polynesia. Not French Guyana, because that got annexed by Britain during the post-war war. Oh, no, so Norway. Norway is a republic, which the French basically overthrew their monarchy in the 20s. So they could have a counterbalance to Finland. Here, let's talk about the small beans of the Entente. Italy. So yes, Italy, as you might notice, is pretty weak. They pretty much have to rely on France to be successful to survive or do anything. Of course, you have Tuscany, Rome, and Sicily, as well as a puppet state in Greece. They do not have Libya or Somalia and Ethiopia, because of course, Ethiopia and Somalia, the only African place that actually successfully got reversed to European colonization. Basically, Ethiopia was like, British Somaliland, French Djibouti, Italian Eritrea are mine, and they split Somaliland with Somalia, against Italy. So yes, so that's pretty much the issue. Of course, Portugal is a neutral country. I guess now we should focus on the Russian Republic, this big boy up here. So they stretch from the Baltic and the Gulf of Murmansk, I think they call it, all the way to the Pacific. Their capital is Petrograd, not Moscow, even though Moscow is a victory city. They have control of the northern part of Ukraine, because during the Russian Civil War, Germany made a deal with the Whites. They also have Tatarstan, Volgoda, Karelia, Archangel, the Urals, Evenki National Okrug, Yekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, unnamed territory. I need to fix that. If you have any good names for it, I might call that. Good. Sorry about the lighting. They also have Siberia, Irkutsk, Yakutia, Amur, and Russian Far East. They have puppet or client states in Mongolia, Tanatuva, the Alash state, and Turkestan, with Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Persia, and Pakistan being like, oh, and Tibet. We're like, nah, we're not in this. We're not part of this. So I guess we should bring us to the Asian power, the Empire of Japan. So yes, they control, their capital is Tokyo. They have Osaka, Sanada, Korea, Formosa, Iwo Jima, a couple other islands. I haven't put all their islands yet. Probably should put Okinawa and all that. Of course, there's the American territory of the Philippines. America is also a member of the Entente. So, I also forgot Romania as a Russian puppet state because it's kind of nestled in there. They're kind of screwed if anything. They're screwed no matter what. Poor Romania. Yeah, we could get a better look at Russia. I like Russia. I think once I color them, they're kind of reddish brown color. They will look way better. I like the borders of Russia. I think I did really well on the Russian borders. Also, Iceland is British. Anything else I forgot? No. I think now I'm going to talk about strategy. In terms of strategy. So, let's talk about Entente strategy first. Obviously, for France, well, one, you need to help win the civil war in Spain. Take it over. It's yours now. Basically, Germany, of course, might just decide to come after you, so I'd recommend invading Sardinia to help your Italian allies out so you can connect the front. Because once you take Sardinia and possibly help the Italians take Tyrol, you'll have actually... If you take Tyrol, either way, I guess if you stay here or here, either way you would have a relatively short front line. But yes, I would also recommend taking Belgium immediately. Probably use tanks in France to take Belgium. Because Germany will attack you. I did a test run, and the German forces in Alsace-Lorraine just decimated the forces in Burgundy, so I'm going to up the concentration of troops in Burgundy, just to give France more of a chance. So yes, you really just have to hold out for the Americans to send crap loads of stuff, and you have to use your navy. You have a large Atlantic navy. So yes, use your large Atlantic navy to defend the sea, the Atlantic, so the Americans can come over. Now, unlike France, which is powerful, but is kind of really small, so you might get overwhelmed. Also, I forgot about the colonial front. To be honest, the colonial front really isn't that important. It doesn't matter if you are successful or not. Also, use Norway to take out Finland, so that way Russia can send their stuff in Karelia and Archangel down to help on the Eastern Front. So yes, Russia has a very Soviet Union strategy, which is really just focused on Germany. Of course, you will have to worry about the Middle East, which in most World War II games you really don't have to worry about the Middle East too much until like the Germans take Persia or whatever. So yes, Eastern Front. I'd probably focus on taking Livonia, currently going north to south, just so you just kind of limit your front line with Germany. So yes, I would try and take Livonia, Belarus, and Ukraine pretty soon though. Maybe connect with your allies in Romania, but they're probably already dead by then. Trying to think of strategies. Of course, the United Kingdom, you might just send everything. Bomb the French. Let's go over to Japan. And the Far Eastern strategy. So, of course, either Russia or Japan can take Manchuria. Really doesn't matter. But, in fact, Entente might have the best chances in the East. Peking, China is literally surrounded by enemies on all sides, so it should be relatively easy to conquer, especially once Tsingtao and Manchuria fall. So yes, conquer Peking, China as quick as you can, using Japan, Russia, and then just march, take Burma and Indochina, and maybe Malaya, and just kind of hold it. Take the British Raj if you can too. Just go north to south. North to south. Of course, also, your American allies can help you out, don't worry. Oh, the East Indies. I don't think you can take I think holding the mainland would be the best option. Maybe the Americans can help take New Zealand and Australia and all of them. Middle Eastern strategy. To be honest, that's really the Reichspak's domain. The Republic is kind of cut off from the rest of the Entente. So I guess you could hold out in the southern Arabia there until India falls, and you can use ships to get down and start pushing northward. If the Ottoman Empire hasn't already obliterated you by then. And for Africa, really it was just Madagascar and French West Africa. Africa is really the Reichspak's domain. So it might take you a while to kind of burst down there. So yes. And the Ottoman Empire is relatively weak, so I think the Ottoman Empire would be your best bet if you want to survive, or if you want to get into the African front, take out the Ottomans. Shouldn't be too hard. Most of these forces stationed in Central Russia could probably help take down the Ottomans. Okay, let's focus on Reichspak strategy. Belgium starts off with only 1 infantry, so you definitely want to move your lower Saxon forces to Belgium, and maybe next run just crush Belgium or Burgundy. And once you're on Burgundy, you're already on the road to Paris. You also, for the Austrians, you need to make sure they take Tuscany soon. Maybe not first round, but definitely first couple rounds. Take Tuscany, so that way the French take Sardinia and try and help their Italian allies. You can't do anything. So yes, because Sardinia, there's not a lot of military for Sardinia, so spend a couple rounds building them up in Sardinia, and then kind of push. If everything goes to right, you could have Burgundy and Marseille under Reichspak control, which would already get rid of half of France. Of course, you could send the British to bomb the French, kind of provide air and sea support. Because you do need to keep these sea lanes open. You do not want the Americans sending stuff to reinforce the French. And the forces in its civil war are pretty equal. So I wouldn't really worry too much about Spain. You can let them fall. They're not really that important. Of course, you could probably send all your Middle Africa forces through Nigeria, up into West Africa, through Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. Or you could have the Austrians sweep through Italy, jump through Sicily, and jump to Tunisia. Like the opposite of what the Allies did in our time with Italy. Invade from Italy to Sicily to Tunisia. And then boom, French Africa is pretty much yours. And then you can start moving all yourself out of Africa and maybe jump to Gibraltar or get into Spain and start pushing. So that would be your African strategy. Take all your Middle African and South African forces, push them up through French West Africa. You could take Tunisia if the Austrians haven't already taken it by then, but I would recommend the Austrians go down to Italy and jumping into Tunisia. Then jumping the strait into Spain before taking the Spanish Republic and then start pushing. If all goes well on that front, you can pretty much just push them all the way back to Paris. So yes, France is really the secondary European power if the Americans can't help them, because they will eventually fall if they're just too small. Russia is the real threat. As the Ottoman Empire, I would crush Arabia real fast, southern Arabia, and just march everything north at Russia. You need to help the Germans out. You also need to make, as Germany, you should make sure Finland doesn't fall. I want to go as far as taking Norway, maybe let the British take Norway, as just something they can do, but you cannot let, the Russian front is the most important front. You can let Finland fall. Finland's kind of sacrificial, but you need to hold the line in Livonia, Belarus, and Ukraine. All of Russia's important cities, Moscow and Petrograd, are on the border, so the Russian player will try really hard to take at least Livonia and Belarus. But yes, hold on to those. Maybe have the Ottoman Empire take Tatarstan and we can start attacking Russia from two sides. If you take Tatarstan, then that means the forces in Moscow and Russia and Ukraine have to be fighting forces on two sides. So, you can hit them twice per turn. Let's talk about Eastern Asian strategy. Okay, so as the British, you should move all your forces out of Oceania, and that's there's a real American threat, but I highly doubt it for a long time. Take Siam. We should crush Siam, because you're surrounded by Germans. And kind of like the opposite of the Entente strategy, push south to north. Because once you take Siam, you should march into Yunnan, and hopefully take Canton. You might use Hong Kong forces, but there's a high chance Hong Kong will be dead by then. But yeah, let's definitely take Yunnan. Maybe have the Pekings attack Chongqing, or Chungking, and the two can meet up and kind of push the Kuomintang just to the east coast. Manchuria has decent military forces, but I highly doubt they could survive both the Russian and Korean forces on their border. So I might actually pull them out and move them to Peking. Just, just to reinforce it. That territory could be retaken later. If all goes correctly, you could probably take the western portion of Kuomintang, China. And then within a couple turns, you could probably conquer the east. And once doing that, just start pushing north. Retake Manchuria, take Korea, take Amur, start advancing into Russia. If everything's going to plan, Russia will start losing on two fronts. There we find a two-front war. So then you might probably do something like in the Global 1940 and to start advancing on Russia from both sides. It'll be fun. Also, you might want to use your Peking forces in Xinjiang to maybe take the last state in Turkestan. So then you could take out southern Russia. And then Russia would be thrown on three sides. It would be fun. Yes, also probably have to take Mongolia, maybe Novosibirsk. Yes, as Peking, China, you really want to break out and link up with allies, because you're kind of in an isolated chunk. My main focus as Peking, China would be to link up with the Deutsch Ostasian and British Raj territory. Oh yes, the Indians will come in handy, because you can really push up. You can use India's vast manpower in its factory to really push up through there and link up. And hopefully conquer China between you. Okay. I will make a second video when I complete the Americas. Actually, here, the Americas are like not done, but yeah, I can probably show you them. Give me a minute as I grab it. Yep. Oh boy. And here's the Americas. Like I said, it's nowhere near done yet, but here's the template for it. It's kind of yellowy up there, but of course we have all South America. I think I'm gonna have some South American nations. America as a whole will probably mostly be Entente domain, with the exception of Canada. Alaska. So yes, so this is America, the United States. They have New England with New York. They have the South with Washington. They have New Orleans. There's a lot of victory cities. There's like 4 victory cities in there. They have Midwest, which is kind of Ohio and Michigan and Illinois. They have Missouri with Kansas City. They have Dakota. They have the Rocky Mountains. They have the West. Is that West Coast? No, it's California. And San Francisco. That's probably going to be Southwest, that unnamed province. Of course, for Mexico, they have Baja California, Chihuahua, Mexico City, and Yucatan and Central America. Those are all American territories. They're just America. Actually, Central America is run by America directly. Mexico is American aligned. And of course, for Canada, we have... Oh, that's lighting. I really do need to pin it to make it clear. We have Newfoundland and Labrador. We have Quebec. I think it's Quebec and New Brunswick, Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan. I have no clue how to spell Saskatchewan. Northern Territories, and Yellowknife. Then we have South America, which is probably mostly going to be American aligned state, and maybe a couple Japanese aligned ones just to boost up their IPC values. So yes, that's the Americas. Let's position them that are actually somewhat aligned. So yeah, so this is pretty much how big the board will be. Oh boy, man, you have no clue how far I'm walking back. Okay, I can actually walk forward a little. Yeah, it's a big board. You better have a really big table. So that's the size comparison to that couch. This is the if you have a weekend to kill game, which I made this before the pandemic. So I guess we have a lot of weekends to kill. I made this game to have weekends to kill, but who would have known in a couple months I would have months to kill? Oh, it's been an interesting time, right? So yes, what better way to celebrate the oddity of 2020 than to celebrate a weirdly odd World War II scenario? Thank you, YouTube. Hope you have a good day, and I'll make an update when I complete the Americas. Have a good day, YouTube.